Innovation has been identified as a priority at both the Canada Revenue Agency and at the government recently because of the accelerating pace at which change occurs, which means that we must adapt to that. At the same time, we've also heard from our employees that the biggest challenge in government is not about employees not having ideas. It is the time that it takes to actually implement those ideas that is the challenge. So as an economist said in the early 20th century, creativity is about thinking about things. Innovation is actually about doing things. The innovative practices that we want to foster at the lab, at the Canada Revenue Agency, are about identifying and testing new ideas and supporting the adoption of these new ideas by the various program areas. So how do we go about this? Well, we reviewed the literature on successful innovative organizations, both in the private and the public sectors, and borrowed some of the characteristics of those organizations in order to set up our own lab. So we decided that it would be structured as a small team that is centrally located, the makeup of which would be quite different from the rest of the agency. There are people, we have people from various backgrounds, be it economics, mathematics, and statistics, which is a little bit more mainstream for a place like the agency, but also people with background in criminology and recently also in anthropology. The lab is located in downtown Ottawa, in the headquarters of the Canada Revenue Agency. This gives us some exposure to senior management as well as allows us to work well horizontally between with the various parts of the organization. Our mandate, which is another thing we had to define when we started, we decided that we would be focusing on initiatives that foster service to Canadians and compliance with tax laws. The projects that we had so far on the BE side include projects to lower participation in the underground economy, increase the take-up of electronic services, and increase honesty in declaring on tax returns. The other part of what we do is about advanced analytics, where we basically look at the data, the immense amount of data that we have, and we try to make that data talk. One project that's worth mentioning is the work that we've done on the use by Canadians of electronic services. I'd like to mention a partnership that we have with the University of Toronto Anthropology Department, where we're trying to identify, using ethnographic techniques, what are the pain points that when a small business starts in dealing with taxes, what that is. That would be difficult to do if we weren't using the ethnographic technique, because if you ask people about taxes, often they just draw a blank and they don't really know what you're asking. While if you're observing them, you'll get a lot more in terms of feedback that can be then used to help support the small businesses in a more meaningful way. Because we're an innovation lab, we change all the time. What we were last year is not what we are, and what we will be next year is not what we are. And to be honest, I have no idea where that is, but that's part of the excitement and enthusiasm, I think, of those who work here. And we are looking forward to the challenge.